since season 3, we got the return of Verdansk, but since the beginning, and I don't mean like the actual beginning, I mean like 2020, we had Warzone. And with Warzone, there's been many ups and downs. With Warzone 2, it was a big up, and then it was a very, very big down. But since Verdansk was reintroduced, I think people are upset about the way things have gone since then. And Stone Mountain 64 has a video about exactly that. I would love if I remember to turn my face cam on. But yeah, he said, I'm worried about the state of Warzone, and I'm curious what he has to say about that. And I'm wondering if worried is the right word. So let's hear what he has to say.
We weren't so certain how things were going to go after the mid-season catastrophe that was season 3 leading.
Oh, you think that was a catastrophe? No. Season 4 was a catastrophe.
A lot of players starting to quit the game. But first, nobody likes stick drift. So a quick shout out to my channel sponsors, Scuff. With their latest feature update on all Envision PC controllers and Reflex controllers for the PlayStation, they now include the Hall effect thumbsticks. This is a huge improvement for anti-stick drift.
I'm actually curious about this. I'm technically sponsored by
Scuff.
Analog.
It prevents the typical damage and drift that you see over time, significantly reducing wear and tear, which of course leads to stick drift. They spent a lot of time to ensure the Hall effect thumbsticks are as similar as possible in feel to the analogs, as they wanted to get it right. So they're finally here, and everything else remains the same. The very responsive back paddles, the comfortable grip.
Okay, I will tell you,
triggers.
I will make this ad very simple for him. There's one thing that Scuff does better than any other controller, hands down. It's not the stick drift. It's not any of that. It's not the back paddles. Lots of controllers. Their hair triggers, their digital hair triggers. No other company has something that good. I'm sponsored by Scuff. I use a PlayStation Pro controller right now. These triggers suck compared to the Scuff ones. There you go. I sold it for you. Can we skip ahead now?
1 month later, State of Warzone.
Here we go.
Let's get back to it. You know, when Verdansk came out, things were pretty well polished. If you saw my last video talking about kind of that 1 month later State of Warzone, though, it made a pretty drastic turn. Now the question is COD still worth playing? I get people messaging me that. I get others messaging, how on earth are you even still playing this game? What do I think about solos and the situation that's gone down there? So I kind of wanted to put together some of my thoughts, as well as bring up some...
we're getting into the casual debate. I love it.
New issues that have come up, of course, with the new season. Verdansk came out, it was pretty much an anomaly that it was as polished as it was. And I think the reason was...
Yeah, so when Verdansk came out, it got delayed by, what, a month? More than a month? It got delayed by a while. And when it came out, it worked. It worked for a while.
Because they spent so many months, if not years, building up for that specific update, delaying the release of it, with Urzikstan sticking around when Black Ops 6 came out until March's release of it, and we're right back on stride with updates breaking absolutely everything.
The usual,
in this
in
game
other words.
For Season 4. Quickly, though, I will say I still love COD. I love Warzone, what this Battle Royale is for the sake of the movie.
So here's the thing. Here's what I will say about exactly what he just said. After playing a bunch of Splitgate lately, we went and played the finals the one day, playing some other shooters here and there. It's undeniable for me at this point. I like the feel of Call of Duty. There's no other game or first-person shooter that has the same feel, responsiveness, just the way that it feels that Call of Duty does. And I wish there was, because I don't like so many of the decisions that Call of Duty has made, but I love the way it feels. You know, it's like a girlfriend. You know what? I'm not going to go there.
Movement, the gunplay, even though mouse is a little bit more difficult to use in some regards, it still is one of the best M&K FPS Battle Royale experiences. You go in, and that was even doubled down on with the release of Verdansk, where it was 150 players, one person comes out on top, no more crazy respawns and constantly coming back, double gulag, triple gulag, buy stations, you know, redeploy flares for the sake of the team-based modes. It was a much more hardcore battle royale experience that had good contracts in the mid-game. Now, with all of the updates they've been doing too, I actually like the new season Easter eggs that they've been putting in the game. There's so many different little nuanced ways.
So actually, oddly enough, the video that I was working on this morning is about the Easter eggs that they put in and how it's like, first of all, there's 4 that are kind of unanswered right now. I made that in the video. And then, but it's so weird that they don't mention them. There's no rewards for them. There's now a tracker at the police stations, which even if you complete all 30 of them, it's weird. It's really, really weird.
Find little come-ups that give you additions to actually understanding the map, how the game plays. That was something I enjoyed about Rebirth when they brought that back. They brought back some of the original Easter eggs, added a couple more. You could have ways of getting durable gas masks, extra UAVs, bringing the key cards over to the tower. Like, I loved that. And going for nukes on that map used to be my favorite before, of course, they took all the nukes out, as well as now removing all of the quality of life updates.
Champions quest?
It's just, man. Yeah, you can't change your loadout pre-game lobby. They made it so you could change your loadout in-game lobby, which was sick. Loadout marker, you can't do any of that anymore. The big shift for solos now, though, is you can't even have a lobby full of other players. It's now AI that you're going up against, at least for the vast majority. Because this is easy 30 bombs. I don't even know what I'm doing, and I have 20 kills. It's 120 AI and 20 to 30 or so actual human players, which I think partly is going to help them with the queue times. Sometimes
the queue times are still pretty bad compared to other games, but yes, they're better. Like, if you played solos before they added in the bots, it was a long ass time, a long, like 5+ minutes to get into a game for me of solos.
Times it did get a little long, and I think it's also going to help them with the skill-based matchmaking, being able to match other people that are of a similar skill level that are the humans that are in the game.
That's actually
I think
a
lot of
point.
The higher skill players too will just avoid playing this mode altogether because it's not really fun just killing a bunch of bots. I actually haven't hated this mode as much as I thought that I would have. You still get into quite a few player engagements, especially at the end game, but it's not as many. And there are situations where the end game is just a cakewalk. That's always been the benefit of solos, is you always have an intense end game, not like what you're playing in quads where you can ultimately end up in a 4v1 situation. It's not even fun.
I've said it before, I'll say it again. What needs to be done is you have casuals and you have regular. Casuals is bots and regular is against 150 people. Regular, you are ranked. It gives you an SR rating. There is no ranked. Screw off with the ranked play. Just make it so that the regular mode is already ranked because there's already an SR built in with it. And then there's casuals. You have solos, duos, trios, and quads in ranked or regular. And you could probably just make it so you have solos and quads in casual. Problem solved.
Always have these intense heart-pumping moments at the end of a solo game that now I really am not getting as much.
But I
of
also
it.
have a bad opinion on this because I think ranked play is dumb in Warzone because you can't use half the weapons and like things are just different. I don't want to play a different game. I want to play Warzone. If I want to play like another battle royale, I'll go play another battle. I might have the unpopular opinion there, but I hate that. I hate that in multiplayer.
So at least as somebody who is relatively good at the game, I enjoy regular solos 10 times more. That being said, the actual gameplay loop, there's a lot of people in a regular game that are just complete trash. Like, you know, there's probably at least 80 to 100 of them that really are about the same equivalence level
look
of
at this
an
high
AI
horse
bot
that
that
Stone
we're going
Mountain's
up
on
against
here.
here. And this is something that's normal in PUBG, in Fortnite, and other battle royales, is having bots in the game, not only in solos, but in other game modes as well. And I do think this is going to be very helpful for all of those players that are just hopping on for an hour a day or whatever it might be that are the casuals. I think that having a solos casual playlist, this is what I was saying they should have added with quads right off the bat, because a lot of people don't want to go into quads, especially with a bunch of randoms who aren't talking anyways. However, at the expense of the core mode, that becomes quite a problem. And I think,
yeah, it's when you lose the core mode. I get
for a player like me, and probably a lot of you guys who watch videos on Call of Duty Online, right? But I think their intention is to split the audience up, and anybody who is a sweat try and force them into ranked. Even now, if I play casuals, I still get a lot of comments from people saying, why are you playing casuals? You're not allowed to play this. Go play ranked. Of which, if I try and play ranked, you can't even snipe in ranked. There's no, like, you can't play.
He agrees. Thank you. Still, okay. I'm so glad. I'm so glad.
You can't play the actual game. You got to go play this other watered down version of the game that a lot of people like more, and that's great. But I like the core game. I like doing the Easter eggs. I like being able to snipe, being able to hit headshots. I think that's just because I come from more of a casual player playlist from most of the games that I play, rather than competitive and trying to be ranked #1 and all of those things. I haven't even played ranked in Call of Duty yet.
Neither have I.
Any of the Warzone seasons. Even playing duos, of which I just played a whole bunch today, that is far more competitive, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was quite difficult to get a win. You still get a lot of those intense moments in end games, especially in duos, that you would
I like
in solos,
duos a
because
lot.
it's not going to be completely outnumbered, although you get the occasional 2v1. In our end game, we had 4 people that were all solos up at the end. You know, each of them's teammate watching.
Like, all jokes aside, I legitimately think duos is the game mode that probably plays the best in Warzone. Like, I really do. I think like the communication, you don't get into situations where you like get into like a 1v4 or a team that's completely stacking that you can't deal with. I legitimately do think
yelling
that.
at them. So it's like, you know, it's a good experience. And in there, at least there is no AI. So you know these are all people and you're in a true match. And that with this major rework to downtown really was having this gigantic tower completely changes the way that you play that area. With all of these little secrets, it's now contesting for the other specialists, 2 other ways you can get specialists, but it's still very difficult to pull off with this huge vertical battle on this tower with so many different ascenders and routes. It's like it's having an entirely different map there. I hope they continue to change the POIs, make the gameplay dynamic, make the whole map feel fresh, change the way that you would play it, not only in a casual manner, but also even the highest level sweat, trying to go for the specialist bonus and fight the other sweats that are going for it as well and know what they're doing. The problem, though, still lies at the functionality of the game. On paper, all of these things are great. The ideas, the concepts.
Do you want to know how broken Warzone is for me? We're going to play this later. Like, we are going to play this later. We're going to do an open lobby. But do you want to hear... When I use a sniper rifle, I scope in and I immediately just freeze. Like, my screen freezes. No matter what scope, if I have anything that's like a 2x plus scope, I scope in and it freezes. Like for half a second, like a long period of time. It's nearly unplayable. But anyway, I don't know whether it's just on PC. I see comments all the time. People are like, dude, it's just because you play on PC. Maybe that's the case, but it's broken.
Really enjoy it as a player. The problem is none of it actually comes to proper fruition. And I don't know the exact reason why. I can only assume it's because they're doing so much now between all the multiplayer, zombies, Warzone, and then trying to get all of those out on the exact same day and deadline is like, clearly this is just not possible. And this is why in a couple videos ago I was talking about like Warzone needs to have its own just dedicated split separate thing that gets the update when the content is done and ready.
That's actually a pretty good idea.
Launch day, what are some of the issues that we're now seeing again? Of course, there's insane server lag across every game that you go in. If your game starts stuttering, if it doesn't crash, that's what it's going to be like for the rest of the game. And seemingly it didn't happen to everybody all at the same time. So some people would be able to run around and kill you while you were lagging out of your mind. Servers never came back. You have to constantly back out. You're spending 5, 10, 15 minutes even as you have to keep backing out of games trying to find a game with a working lobby. And even the people who do play this game every day, grind and sweat for rank, the game is not even working properly for them. As Nate Shop points out,
Season 4 launched. Rank play comes a couple days later after all the server issues. If you were iridescent, you either got brought back down to bronze.
Yeah, I saw a lot about this, and I believe they fixed this now.
Or you went back down
weeks
to diamond,
later, but
like you should have. I know for a fact that me, Scump, Apathy, we got sent back down to bronze. Symphony, that bird bitch, he stayed at diamond.
Of course, this is critical because to get top 250, it's all based on skill points. And if one player starts 5,000...
Can I just say this? The SR system in Call of Duty is dumb. I hate it. This is why I don't play it. It's not based off of how good you are. It's based off of how much you play. If you're good enough and you play enough games, you will be top 250. You just will. And it's a time dump. It's a stupid time dump, and I don't like it. Why is there not just SR ratings? They have it in regular matches. All they need to do is turn it on so you can see it, and then you can actually see who's the best. I'm venting here. I'm venting.
Points ahead, literally hours, if not a week, 2 weeks of gameplay ahead. Good luck trying to catch up. They said they were investigating issues, he goes on to mention, and it's now been 5 days. They still haven't done anything. And you would think that's bad, but it's not even the worst of it, because the thing that obviously I don't talk about too much is hackers. You guys get mad at me that I don't talk about it enough, so let's talk about it.
We talked about this yesterday.
Just one hacker, but teaming hackers. The number of clips that I have seen.
Look, there's people right behind these kids right now on them, not even
on the right, not shooting.
Oh
my God, they're team.
Look at that stash.
Dude, people got to get
alive.
alive.
9-man attackers.
They got to get
Look,
alive.
They're all teaming right here. How many
Can
people
we just
are there?
acknowledge that
Hackers.
stash for
Yeah,
a
3
second?
guys behind this guy. This guy's ranked number 10 in the world.
Holy,
Oh my
and he's
God.
teaming.
So wait, Team Top Stadium is also hacking, and there's all.
3 teams hacking, teaming together, and a bunch of solos.
Do you understand what's happening?
Look at them.
this.
Look
Look
at them
at
all.
this.
Look at them all.
They're all teaming. They're fighting one guy.
This
And
is
now
the
they're
ranked
gonna kill each
experience in
other for
Warzone. And I've seen so many clips
That's
like
actually
this.
wild.
Oh my God.
I just have
Well,
never
that's
brought it
apathy?
up
Okay.
or, you know,
He's like, you
Wicked
get the kill.
stash.
Oh no, there's no way people have no lives like.
talked about it. But even if they weren't hacking with it, right? Let's just say maybe they weren't hacking. They're still stacked up teaming with each other, farming for skill rating, something that I've heard about for since ranked has been out, where people will also just kill trade so they can max out the skill rating that they can get in a round and continue to climb rank.
I've never seen one hacker in Battlefield 5. Well, that's a problem with being a free-to-play game. First of all, Battlefield definitely does have hackers. Every single game does. As we talked about this yesterday. It's hard to name a game that doesn't, especially when you're playing ranked play. But having a price tag on your game immediately makes it so that there's going to be less hackers. Because if I'm a hacker and I go into Warzone and I get banned, and what I do is I go and make a new account and I can immediately play again. And if I'm a hacker, I can just unlock anything anyway.
Essentially boosting that. I know Warzone has said they're doing something about, but here we are still. And if you're ranked 10 in the world, clearly, I mean, you've been making some progress here. The craziest part, though, of course, is that this game is free to play. So as soon as you ban somebody, they have to make a new account. But supposedly, and I don't know the validity of this here, but there's another clip blowing up on TikTok saying it's not so hard to get more accounts.
Oh, he locked on. Oh, yeah, he's actually hacking.
So
Hold on. Let me see if I can interview this guy.
How's it going?
Dude, so serious questions. I'm not even going to flame you here. How much money are you making off of these hacks?
It depends what you do. I know some people that run Discord servers that clear $3 to $5 grand easily a week. Me personally,
Wow.
though, only like a couple $100 every other week. It's more of a side hustle for me.
How much does it cost to make a new account?
25 cents. Some people don't even have to pay. They have lifetime for SMS gen.
Wait, 25 cents?
You can
So that's the thing. If you can get a new account that freely, because it's already free to get it, but what must be happening is people are just farming accounts, which I'm guessing is also partly why there's so many bad players that are just inside of games anyways. These are probably just people that are running around trying to get an account to level 10, 15, whatever, get it past a certain number of games so that could even get into ranked. Potentially another reason that they're slowly making the core game just full of AI by, of course, switching everything to casuals.
You can buy 100 accounts for $20. 100 Steam accounts pre-made. All you do is load up the Steam account, and then you load up Activision and make your Activision account because they don't even do an email verification. Completely
What
BS
the
info.
fuck?
When I get kicked from
But see, I don't know, like, because half the time every week when I log into the game, it tells me to two-factor authenticate my account.
Yeah, but it doesn't require it. So, it would have been at the launch of Black Ops 6. I had to set up my accounts for when I went to New Zealand, and I couldn't remember my Activision password. And I didn't have two-factor authentication set up. Now I do, but I didn't then. And It just doesn't require it. You don't need it. I have an account that I'm sure people have tried to hack, and it doesn't need it. It doesn't need it, and it should. But then people get mad when it requires that, because that's going to drop your player count. And what does Call of Duty care about?
So I don't get how people can play without two-factor authenticate. Like, is that not a requirement? Why
It
does
is
it make
not.
me do that all the time? But I guess they have two-factor generation, so they can even...
No, it's not even that. It's not required.
already do that automated, I guess.
From a game, right? If I get a shadow ban during a game, I can be back online on Call of Duty's home screen for 90 seconds. It's
That's
that bad.
crazy.
90 seconds?
If there was a way I could get banned right now, I could show you. All I do is open up the notepad file down here. I have hundreds of accounts, just already copy and paste. All I do is copy and paste the info, add Warzone to the Steam library, start your game, and then
I'm like blown away right now.
The biggest one that I saw blowing up recently, though, is that apparently your whole computer can get hacked and get a virus on it by playing in a custom game right now.
My PC got hacked through a Warzone match. Yeah, you guys have probably seen this. It's literally everywhere. It's on TikTok, Twitter. I mean, literally any.
I haven't heard of this one.
The Call of Duty servers are not safe. I played a custom match with my viewers, and a hacker joined the lobby and literally pulled all of my information on my PC, my internet, literally everything through the Warzone match. The Warzone servers are not protected right now. Nothing's protected on Warzone. I mean, I don't know what this company is doing.
So a lot of people were asking me on stream, you know, how are you playing this? Why are you playing this game right now? Don't you know you can get hacked? All your information can get stolen. But the thing is, I also don't know enough if that's really true.
Yeah.
And while that definitely makes a good headline, I don't doubt this guy did get hacked and is having some serious issues. I am staying out of at least custom lobbies for the time being, just as a safety measure. I would imagine if there was really that level of breakthrough from just playing in a public lobby with somebody,
I don't know if that's true.
the game would just be shut down right away. But then again, maybe not with these guys. But I don't know this guy personally. Did he download something else onto his computer? Is there something else going on? Who knows? But it sure has blown up online. And not to say that it's even just PCs that are the issue. I watched a video about this a few months
I have
back.
seen so many videos lately about the Cronus and what it does and how to detect it and a bunch of things like that. I'm curious if that's what he's going
as
to talk
AI
about.
gets better, it's becoming a bigger issue with hackers on console as well. Again, outside of just Cronus and Zin and the things that are literally sold in the store, we're seeing hundreds ordered every single month on Amazon. Likely a lot of it for this game. I even saw another clip from Nade saying that he thinks every single person that's been killing him is using one and he's about to go buy his Cronus. I think that'd be some great content once he gets one of those in. Nonetheless, there's also hacks on console that people are able to utilize.
Where the pink dot is, it can be a little frustrating when people are on points because it'll also drag to like bomb sites.
So can you do this on PlayStation 2 or is it only Xbox?
Oh yeah, you can do it on PlayStation and Xbox.
So do you have it like fully cranked right now?
Honestly,
This
it's
is
one of
him
those things where you have to
interviewing
mess
a
with your settings. Like these
cheater.
settings are very complicated. This is my search area. So if I widened it all the way, if there was anything that resembled the color of the pink dot, it would drag onto it.
Are you doing this?
Essentially, in multiplayer, you'll see the dot over an enemy's head. Works a little differently in Warzone, obviously, but from that, the AI that is overwatching this or whatever tool it is can then outline where the player is and what to shoot, and then can take control of the controller and help with.
So in other words, just hackers are winning, right? Like at this point, you just have to be like, well, the hackers are winning. Like both sides are AI at this point. One of them's like the aimbot AI. The other side is detecting the aimbot AI. And right now the aimbot AI is winning, and it's probably going to continue to.
The inputs to aim lock onto them.
Doing this through an Elgato from your Xbox that's capturing the screen.
I'm doing it, yeah, I'm doing it from an Elgato from my PC, but it's running through my Xbox. I was tired last season of just all the Zimmers and the Zens and.
How much did you have to
when
spend
HDR
for this?
minus the PC, 600. It's worth the
Golly.
investment because I got that back in
Worth
boosting
the
2 accounts. Cost
And you
for
can't
this.
get banned because you're playing on console. They can't detect it because it's running the cheats through a different software.
Exactly.
So you on controller or keyboard and mouse doing this?
I'm on controller. I used to play legit roller.
It can't detect it because he's not running it through the PlayStation. Interesting.
doesn't drastically improve your game. There's still an aspect to the game you need to understand. Like, you need to understand how to block spawns, spawn trap.
Well, and that's the thing. You see so many people that do hack that are just so bad at the game, and that's like an easy way to tell. But sometimes there are people who are good, get the extra edge off of it. And honestly, at this point, I feel like I haven't run into that many cheaters when I play. I don't spend a lot of time reviewing all of the gameplay and clips, though. I just assume they're better than me, try to learn the
I'm the
positioning
same
and
boat.
angles, and then go on
Yeah,
to the
they're
next
probably
game.
better
And
than
while
me.
I do play this game a lot, I don't play it 10 hours a day, every day, nor do I try and grind ranked like a lot of these guys do. I'm kind of in the middle where if I play enough games and there's hackers in a couple of them, I can leave and just go to another game and have a decent one. But I can see also the frustration of playing only a small amount. You play 3 games in a night, 2 of them have hackers, maybe all 3 of them have hackers, and you're also not great at the game because you don't play it enough. You can't even keep up with them. There's literally zero hope out of it. And what is the positive side for it? If you are the best in the world, or even just pretty good at the game, like I'm not the best, but I'm still called a hacker every day. Every game you go into, you get a couple kills, you're still called a hacker. So there's not really great reputation alongside of even being good at this game, which also puts it in a very bad spot. But I will say, the more I've seen this across all online shooters, this is just a wave that I think is a reason so many people have been pushed to playing more PvE games or modes like zombies. I think when Black Ops 6 came out, a ton of people just flooded to zombies. And even more so, I know everybody hates when I say this, but this is a reason that I think this game is going more down the direction of putting more AI into games with casuals. I think duos and quads will also be eliminated from the core playlist on this game in favor of just all casuals, and then maybe they make a super casuals that's literally all AI.
Oh,
so you can
God.
play the game, grind your camos without ever having to run into other players, especially as AI
No,
is
there's
getting
no way they
actually
do
better.
that.
It can pretend to be a real player more accurately, and sometimes that is a more enjoyable experience where you're shooting up
I would say the same thing. If they throw a grenade first, they're AI. We all know this.
other soldiers and like players versus just shooting zombies that never shoot back, where you don't really have a lot of competition. I mean, the number of comments that I've gotten from people, again, telling me, don't play casuals. You're not allowed to play casuals. You're too good.
Screw
This
you.
is
That's
the
what I
easy
would
mode.
say.
They want to farm and get all of their wins for free. I think naturally that's going to be the direction this continues to go. And I think the next step past that is going to be AI on your team as well. So you go into quads, you're going to have AI teammates that you could then talk to. If you guys saw like the Darth
Oh my
Vader
God,
AI
could you
integration that
imagine?
Fortnite did. Other games have been working on this, like Arena Breakout Infinite, amongst a couple others I've covered on the channel here, that a lot of people don't want to hear it. They don't want me to even talk about it. It doesn't do good for views. Nobody cares. But I'm telling you, you're going to have squad mates that are AI that you're going to be talking. You're going to be yelling at them to drop you their gas mask, and they'll do it. And I think some of
might be
the
right.
ways of old for multiplayer are going to be phased out, where there's probably still going to be another game or two that can still deliver on what that is, but maybe this is the next wave that actually gets people to play. And the thing is, if people are spending money and they're spending more time in the game, and this is making more money for them as a whole versus, you know, retaining the sweatier players, like, just get them out of the game. Let's bring in more casual.
Kev, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure you can only do private matches if you have a certain amount of real players. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the way that it works.
Who are going to make more money, and that's going to be the future of this. Now, it sounds like a complete doomer take here, a bit based on reality, if you see where I'm coming from after discussing it. And I do think there is still enough of us that want to have a good battle royale, a good gaming multiplayer experience. I just
35
don't
real
know
players,
how
there you go.
possible that is with how rampant all of the cheating is. We've got, theoretically at least, Battlefield Battle Royale coming at the end of the year. The more competition, the better. And if they do have an anti-cheat that can maintain a solid player count and create something for them, maybe just stay away from ranked completely. Maybe that's what's bringing more cheaters into the franchise in the first place. Maybe just keep it casual, fun, allow for some more custom games where we can even run our own scenarios with friends without... If I do a custom game now, I might have a hacker in there steals all my information, shuts my entire computer down. I don't know. Maybe something safer can be made. I am going to go back, try some more PUBG. There's bots in that game too. A ton of people
Apparently
report
it's in
cheating
every
in it. You know,
game
I
now.
think it's the same thing regardless, and it's crazy that, at least to me, I still see this as one of the best battle royales to play, gameplay mechanic wise. Maybe that'll be changing as well. End of the year, they're going to be adding wall running, double jumping. At least that's what it looks like. Most likely, they're going to force that into the system because that's what's going to be in the multiplayer version of the game that has to go to Warzone because they're not going to split it off. But I would love to spend more time, be more of a diehard player in the game than even I am right now. Playing it casually is enjoyable for me. Some of the stories that we get out of it after a few hours of gameplay are absolutely incredible. I had an insane duo game today that I got a clutch out of that truly is just like, where can I get these gameplays? I can't do it anywhere else. But I'm also not really convinced we're going to see any significant changes for the next year or so. Maybe not until the next couple of years, at which point another game is willing to take on the challenge of making a battle royale. But it seems like everything's going towards the extraction shooter side, which I will say I have been excited for as well. Nonetheless, tell me what you...
Comparatively, how many hackers were in Modern Warfare 2019 before COD made Ricochet? It depends whether you're talking about multiplayer or Warzone. Warzone, there was a ton. Like, immediately there was a lot. And people forget that. Like, this isn't new to Warzone. And I would say it's probably about the same number as there is right now. It's just now that there's been services built out to even, like, when Ricochet was first implemented, okay, it would take longer for people to get an account and things like that. And as we just heard, people have hundreds of accounts ready to go if they get banned, which is wild to me.
You guys think? Obviously, a bit of a rant today, a lot of different stuff that I kind of covered with it, but it's a lot of what I've been seeing online, and thought it would be good to throw some of the conversation out. That's for this one, though. Thanks so much for watching. StoneMouse64, over and out.
Yeah, in Modern Warfare 2019, Modern Warfare 2019 multiplayer had a good amount of hackers as well. I don't see a way around the hackers. Like I said this the other day, it's just like there's going to be hackers. Like, it sucks. When you have a free-to-play game, there's going to be hackers. Splitgate, I guarantee you, is going through it right now. But it just, and then the bigger the game is, the more there's going to be. So it is what it is, but it's in a bad state right now. And I think the biggest thing comes down to updates, broken updates. I don't think it's hackers. I think it's broken updates and lack thereof as well. Like, you get your 2 updates, basically, 1 update a month to Warzone. And yeah, there's like little, oh, we changed his weapon, but that's not like, the game doesn't feel different. It just doesn't. And that's what I think people want, is something fresh every week or two, but it won't happen.